Yay! Here we are again. It feels so cold today. I don't know about you, but I feel like I need to warm up a little bit here. So, today I wanted to talk about an interesting topic because I think it's one that's not talked about a lot in dog training and the way that's helpful. A lot of people will say, oh, like your dog's just mirroring your energy and you need to change. I'm like, oh, I feel like that's just a snap, like in the face. Oh, hi, Mimi. I'm glad you're on here. I hope you come and comment. I'd love to play with you. So I was just talking about like a lot of dog trainers will say, hey, like, your dog is mirroring your energy. And that's just kind of like a slap in the face, I think, because it doesn't really tell us like what to do differently. It's like, okay, yeah, I can tell that, my dog is really aroused and that, maybe they're mirroring some of the energy that I'm feeling in the moment. Thanks for the info. I don't really think that helps a lot of people when, their dog owners on what to do differently. So today I want to talk about like how like when our dog's arousal level goes up, we naturally want to take that lead. So that's like entrainment. Oh, cool. We got a few other people on here. So comment below so I can see you so that we can interact today. I mean, this is a really big topic that I think really needs to get out there and more people know about it. So let's say our dog's energy starts going up and up and up. So my question to you would be, what are some things that your dog is doing? And comment below on this as your dog's arousal level is going up. And the more that you interact with me and talk today, the more that I'm going to be able to help you out and kind of personalize what I'm saying to help you. But then we can also have a conversation. So I'm looking forward to seeing your comments on what your dog's doing as their arousal level is going up. So is it barking? Is it, running in circles? Is it kind of being on alert and looking at the environment around you and not paying attention to you? Oh, hi, Krista. That's great. So you answered. So we got Damien barks and barks and barks. Yes. So, and you and I work together. So we know what we can do to look at that. But today we're not going to necessarily talk about the exact training tool as much as the energy that we're carrying in those moments and how to then bring the energy back down. So if like Damien is barking, right? And then our energy starts going up to meet it, even if we're not yelling, right? We're still carrying that same level of intensity of energy sometimes, right? That's not always what happens. But my question to you is, Krista, when Damien is barking, do you feel like empowered and that you can easily redirect them? I know that you do to some degree because we work together, but are there times when you feel like more stressed out and that you're matching that energy? Let me know in the comments below if that happens. So what are some ways that we match your dog's energy? That's enough. Stop it. Don't do that. We can yell, right? We can pop the leash. We can do abrupt actions with our body. Sit, and get like really tense in our body, right? And then basically what we're doing is it then mirrors what the dog's already doing, so it reinforces the behavior more. Cool. So Krista says it does stress you out and you usually turn and walk the other way. Okay. So then you're walking away. So then once you walk away, my question would be, do you start feeling more calm? Or do you stay stressed? And then my other question would be, as you're walking away, does your dog follow you? Or does Damien just keep barking? So what we want to do is when the dog's in that state that we then come kind of bring the energy back down. So you're saying that you're feeling less stress as you walk away and then Damien settles down very fast. So then that's the point I would reward the behavior. So I would then give a treat at that moment for then settling down. And then I'm wondering if he's following you, even better, I would give a treat for that so that he learned to bark and then disengage, right? So again, today I wanted to kind of talk more about within ourselves on, all right, dogs up here. We want to bring our arousal level down to meet them here. Okay. So that then, or I'm sorry, your dog's up here. You want to bring your arousal level down so that your dog then starts meeting you here. Okay. So if you're bringing your arousal level down, your dog, unless there's a high level of reinforcement that's happening, because if they're barking at a trigger, like I know Damien does, you have to do training in order to redirect that behavior, because just bringing your arousal level down, you'd have to do that pretty high degree to just get that behavior to just, completely extinguish. But as you're rewarding the behavior and you're creating a different response with rewards, you want to make sure that you have that energy more grounded. So how do we do that? So first of all, you want to think in those moments, it happens fast. And then the first question to ask yourself is, are you able to bring your arousal level more down? And there's a lot of different ways to do this. So one way is to breathe through your belly. So, and I'm going to tell you, like when I've worked with reactive dogs, they're barking on the end of the leash and they see another dog and they're barking. If I use my training tools and I don't decrease my arousal level, my results are okay. That works. But when I added the belly breathing in addition to using the tools, oh my God, amazing shift, because now I'm shifting my energy as well as rewarding the behavior I want. So it can be challenging initially to combine the two together. So you might want to just practice belly breathing without doing training first. And then as you get good at it, start combining it when you're doing the training. And can you breathe more through your belly? So I'm going to get closer to the camera here. So you see how I'm going in and out. I'm doing through my belly because a lot of times we breathe through our chest. So Krista, I have a question for you since you're on. Have you ever tried doing some belly breathing when you start feeling stressed? And a trick to belly breathing is making sure that your out breath is longer than your in breath. So that actually starts calming down your nervous system and can really, really exemplify your training process. Wonder if there's a way that I can look at the comments and you know what, maybe what I'll do so we can interact better. So you got this. If you want to take a picture of it, go ahead. I'm going to actually stop screen sharing now so that we can have a conversation. Yeah, you haven't. You're a very hyper person. I will try this. Yeah, so am I. Trust me, I get it. And that's why it was important for me to learn these tools. And I can't tell you how much it's helped my clients. So even doing this throughout the day, I'm going to show you this next technique, because some of these you're not going to be able to do in the training moment. The breath you can once you get good at it. A lot of these other things you're going to do are going to realign your nervous system. And as your nervous system starts becoming more relaxed, then you're going to be able to interact with your dog on a different degree, and it's going to bring their arousal level down even more. I see someone else is on. Put your name below if you'd like so we can have a conversation and I can help you. I like to do this one with my glasses off. And I'm going to tell you, I've been working with this client who has a dog that goes, I mean, so fast. And now that we've been working together a lot, the dog's energy is going down a lot faster. But I showed the owner this technique and she was like, oh my God, I do it every day. It just releases so much stress in my system. So you basically turn your head in one direction and you let your eyes go in the same direction. So my eyes are going to the left and my head's going to the left, but my nose is staying forward. So I'm not doing this. And Try it on now, guys, if you're willing, seriously, especially you, Krista. I want you to do it because it's the experience of doing this that'll help you see what it does for your body. You got to feel the difference. So I stay until I have like a yawn or a sigh, and I got that release. Sometimes I might stay a little bit longer if I feel like I need an additional release after that. And then I do the same on the other side. I look so silly. My daughter always says I'm so weird when I do this, but it makes such a huge difference. This side's releasing really fast for me. I have a lot to release. There we go. It's coming out. And then you can even do a second one where you put your hands behind the occiput, so like the base of your neck, and then you do the same thing. And it can work really well when you're lying down, but you can do it sitting up if that's too hard. And right now, if you have a place to lie down, you can do it lying down. Or you do the same thing. You hold it until you yawn. Then you do the other side. I actually taught this in my group class that I'm doing at the Geauga YMCA. I had trailblazers in that class. Everyone chose to try it on, and they all were like, oh my God, I feel so much more grounded. So, Krista, did you do it? And if not, that's okay. But if you did you do it? And how do you feel now? I'd be curious. If you have a lot of stress, maybe it doesn't feel that different. And that you need to upkeep it and do it a lot. But it's something that can make a huge difference. And if you do it on a day-to-day basis, it's going to ground you, which then is going to allow you to approach your dog training from a more grounded state. Another one that's really good. Okay, so you didn't feel that you had that much of a release. So I would have the question to you, Krista, is did you hold it until you had a yawn or a sigh? Um, because if we're impatient and we don't hold it to that point, it's not going to release anything. So, answer that question so I can see if you held it long enough. Because if it's the first time you've ever done it, you may need to hold it, 3 minutes on one side, before you didn't, it's not going to release anything if you didn't wait for the release to happen. So do it again and hold it as long as you need until you get that yawn or the sigh, because you have to have that. Otherwise, your body has not released anything. Yeah. So try it and then you can join in on some of these others, but I want you to try that neck one because it's a good one for you to practice. And then the more you do it, the less you're going to have to hold it so long. The first time you do it, some of you may have to hold it for a while. So the yes breaths, oh yeah, impatient, I get it. So I remember one time I was on a call with this coach I work with, Megan Slito. She really specializes in trauma in the past, and now she really works a lot with entrepreneurs. And I was on a call and she said, oh, let's all do the yes breath. And I'm going, and she goes, Joanna, you need to slow down. And I was like, oh yeah, you're right. So a lot of these processes, you need to do them slow in order to work. If you rush through them, you're not in the moment and your body is not grounding. So for the yes breath, you basically, and you could do it without moving your hands, but if you add this into it, it's stretching your shoulders. And you want to do it slow. I feel like I can be in my body so much more if I do it with my eyes closed. So after you're done with the neck stretch, then you comment on if it worked better when you waited for the release, Krista. You can try this one on. Oh, I feel like a huge release in me from just doing that. And I generally say you want to do it for 1 to 3 minutes. You know, if you're on the higher stress end, then you might want to do 3, or maybe you even want to do 5. You got a sigh? Yay! Way to do it again. Way to take that toss and be like, yeah, I'm in. So, now do the other side. And then once you do both sides and then you do this one too, and wait for the sigh and the on in each one, then I want you to comment on, do you feel the same, less stressed, or more stressed? Okay? No right or wrong answer. All right. So, ooh, this is kind of an easy one to do. If you're feeling, really worked up, you can always just do this where it's, I am safe, everything is okay. Or I think when we're training our dogs, it can be nice to be like, it's okay that I clicked at the wrong time. And I know that I'm perfectly capable at clicking at the right time. Or like you're basically saying something encouraging to yourself, but you're going from your shoulders to your elbows and just calming down your body. I can have compassion with myself as I'm training my dog. We can easily work as a team. I believe in myself. Um, Saying things like that can really be empowering. You can do that before the training session, in the middle of a training session, at the end. You guys get to decide when you want to do these tools. And it might be an experiment on, does it work better when you do it before, after, during? But honestly, any of these tools that you're just randomly doing throughout the day is going to ground you and then cause in that moment of time and need where your dog is going, ah! You'll start feeling less stressed because you're starting to train your body to feel more relaxed. Um, Yeah, let's do this one. So this one's a good one to do when your dog's not around, unless your dog doesn't react to this. But most really hyper dogs are going to respond to this like crazy. So I would go in a room and shut the door. But shaking, if you shake for like a minute to 3 minutes, it's going to really realign your vagus nerve. Takes out all the stress in your body. Try it on, guys. Yeah, you're gonna look silly. But if you want to do things differently and have a big shift in your life, you got to do things that are a little weird, that make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, because no one else in the world is doing them except the people that are creating success and more peace in their lives. If you talk to people that are happy and less stressed, you're going to find that some of them do this stuff. Or they were raised in a family where nothing stressful ever really happened. So their vagus nerve was already aligned when they were born. A lot of us, that's not the case. We were born with families that had stress, even if they were good parents. And then if we can allow ourselves to do a little bit of odd things, then we can show up differently. Because if we just keep doing the same thing that we're already doing, we're just going to create circular cycles. That one kind of exhausted me. I think maybe I need a nap today. So that shaking, you could also do it less intense than I did. But I think that's a sign from my body that's saying, slow down a little bit, Joanna. So if you're finding that increased your stress, then maybe you want to do some of the other ones. Usually that one relaxes me, but today did not do that for me. It actually kind of amped me up more. Maybe it's because I'm excited. Might be because I'm excited because I'm really enjoying this call. So Krista, did you have enough time to do both sides now? And this one too? And then do you feel less stressed, more stressed, or the same? Okay, so The next ones I'm going to talk about are a little bit more mental, but I think they're important. So being present with your emotions. So I guess that is body centered, but like checking in, like, how do I feel? Like, oh, a bit settled. Good. I honestly feel something. Woo! Good job. So try it every day if you're willing. Literally, I do it every day, at least once a day. When I first learned it, I was doing it 3 or more times a day. And as long as it's not making you feel worse, there's something wrong with doing it a lot. Okay. If you're starting to feel worse as you're doing it, then it might be that your body just, you're doing it too much and your body just can't release enough that fast. Because if we're used to being stressed, that's our comfort zone. So our body's going to eventually be like, no, don't release anymore. So then you just got to slow down, do it a little bit less often, and then work up to it. Nice. That's cool. I'm glad you said that you will give it a shot. So being present with our emotions. So I notice that I feel anger when my dog barks or whatever it is, or sad or scared or whatever, frustrated, whatever it is. So Krista, you said you felt stress. So I'm wondering if you're willing to name what that emotion is. Because naming it and voicing it can actually create a different reality for us when we put that presence in there. So if you're willing to tell me what emotion you're feeling when that barking happens, I would love to know. And then what we're going to do from there is open up your energy in a new space of possibility. So a lot of times we go into the space of this is a problem, right? Embarrassed. Oh, honey. So my next question would be, are there people that are coming at you about your dog barking? So people that are saying that you're not doing a good enough job or expecting you to do better, or is that coming from you? And if it's a no to both of those, that's okay. I'm just thinking if I was feeling embarrassed, then I'm thinking I want to hide this. If I want to hide something, then usually I'm beating myself up about something, or other people are coming at me. Yes, my kids, which adore him, but hates it when he barks. Oh, great. So we're all in this energy. Okay, that's wonderful. So then my question would be is how can you embrace this as a learning opportunity, a new possibility? So my toss to you as a family would be, can you all sit down as a family and present your emotions about it? Get it all out. I hate it when Damien barks. God, why does he bark so much? Just give the space for everyone to say how they feel. And then when it feels released, and you say, okay, I hear all of this. I fully hear what you're saying. And then from there, say, would you be open to a new possibility? Are you guys ready? They need to be heard first. If you just jump to, do this first, you can't dismiss the emotions and then expect someone to do something different. They have to be heard. Those emotions are there, and especially with kids. You can't just say, do the homework. It's frustrating, Mom, I don't want to do it. Give the space to let that out. And then go, are you ready now? Okay? It makes a difference when we can feel. Then from there, we say, okay, what possibility do we want to open up to? And who knows what they'll say, but it could be something like, hey, who's willing to help me out with this training? And some of your kids may say yes, some of your kids may say no. But I would jump on the ones that are willing to, and then say, hey, would you guys be willing to give a treat when Damien stops barking? So what I do is I walk away and then Damien stops. And I notice that settles him. Can you help me with that and give him a treat too? So Jeremiah says he's already in. So there you go. Yay, Jeremiah. Woo! Yeah. So then put treats treats by the locations that Damien's already barking. Okay, so they're already there and they're easily accessible. Okay, he goes to bark, do something to help ground yourself, whether that's the breathing or this or whatever. Then give him the treat when he stops and enroll everyone else into the picture. So I wish you could hear my crew. Oh, I wish too. Okay, do an onomatopoeia on there. Tell me what they're all saying. Because I want to hear. There's like noise, or if they're verbally saying English words. Type in there what's going on, or maybe even a word that explains the energy that's going on in your house right now. So the ones that are not really willing to dive in, I wouldn't really pressure them. I would let them be there. And then you could say, hey, like, I know this is frustrating for you. I get it. And just kind of honor that. And then you could, when they're in a receptive state, you could say, would you be willing to try something on to help you feel better? So instead of them trying to interact with Damien, then it could be encouraging them to breathe or to change their thoughts around it. Like barking equals embarrassment to barking equals training opportunity. Barking equals we can work as a family together. Barking equals we can collaborate. We can be a team. Barking is awesome because it brought us together as a family and we're all working together with Damien. I don't know. I'm just throwing stuff out there. That might not ring for you, but what I'm saying is you look at the situation as a possibility instead of a problem. So at my house, we had a shitload of issues with homework. I decided I'm done with this. Homework is fun. It's a game now. So what we do is now it's like, yay, homework's here, new possibility. I don't always jump in there right away, but I'm going to tell you, my daughter came home one night with 3 hours of homework. 3 hours of homework, and she needed help on the whole entire thing with me. And I was like, you know what? We're going to make it fun. That's what we're going to do. By the evening, we felt a little drained, but we looked back and we were like, wow, we connected. We made it fun. We got it done. That was a gift. That was an amazing opportunity. So remember, your dogs, whatever it is, that's a gift for you. If you can look at it in the face and accept that this is going on and change your viewpoint around it from a problem to a possibility, your life will change. And then you're going to say, you know what? I liked that you did that behavior because it taught me something. It doesn't mean that we can't train with it and change it. But when we can come from empowerment with it, instead of a victim mentality, now we got the, I guess it's, I wanted to say power, but we're not really trying to be more powerful than our dogs. Now we got empowerment. That's what I'm looking for is empowerment. Like we can do this. We believe in ourselves. Confidence, right? Cool. So when we're in a more grounded state, we can also listen to our dog. We can come from a place of love, compassion, and understanding instead of control. So we got to be more grounded to be able to listen. So Krista, what do you think your dog is saying when he's barking? So I would think he's saying, I want this thing to go away. I feel uncomfortable. Right? Some of your dogs are saying, hey, pay attention to me now. Get off the Zoom call. Some of your dogs might be saying, hey, I need more exercise. I'm not getting enough exercise in this cold weather. You might not always get the answer right because you can't read their mind. He protects us. Yeah. So that's a gift in itself, really. We don't want to completely take that away. And then looking at it from, gee, that's really nice, right? And then you can then allow yourself to say, what emotion is he feeling in that moment? He's probably feeling stressed out, anger, fear. And having more compassion of where he's at instead of just being like, oh my God, this noise just needs to stop, right? It's like if my daughter's having a meltdown, I can be like, oh my God, this is so loud. or I can open up my heart and allow myself to connect with her and be like, oh gosh, you're really struggling right now. And that's okay. And then when I'm in that space, it allows me to teach something different, but then it also allows me to embrace it when it happens. Because we can't completely stop Damien's barking. You can't completely change all of your dog's behavior. It's not possible. It's not. So, yes, we can use reinforcement and curb it and have it happen less, but ultimately what I'm trying to say is it's bigger than just changing your dog's behavior, because then you're just going to fix it in problem solving. You also want to be able to be like, gosh, my kid's crying 50 times a day, right? Just hypothetically. That's a lot. We probably want to do something to help that child because they're getting stressed out a lot. But we're probably not going to expect, as we're helping them, that they're going to no longer cry ever again. So in those moments, can we come from a place of compassion, understanding, and learning and growing together so that it becomes a learning opportunity of growth in those moments as we're working on changing the behavior at the same time. So it's not like we're avoiding the sadness, the crying, the barking, whatever, right? We're actually dealing with it head on and opening our hearts and saying, I hear you, I feel you, and let's help you out here, okay? Let's go over here, Damien, and I'll give you a treat over here. And he goes, let's go over here again. And when you're farther away, you could try the look at that. No, don't forget about the look at that. It's not going to work when he's barking, but if you're far enough away from the trigger, you can get that LAT in there. And then when he goes back, instead of being like, oh my God, this needs to stop, right, where arousal level goes up. Oh, okay. I hear that he feels some stress and fear right now. Got it. Damien, come on over here. Okay, here's a treat. It's going to be really hard to act in that grounded state if your stress is up here. So that's why I'm showing you these tools today. And then when you have used these tools compoundedly over a period of days, weeks, and months, your nervous system starts to realign. And then you can respond in a more grounded fashion in those moments and be able to see the gifts as a learning opportunity. Yeah. Yeah. So, Krista, what did you get from today's call or live? What are you going to do differently? I would love to know. And if you have a lot to say, you can keep writing it even after I pop off here from the live. So I do have a few announcements. So, yeah, so I am doing a gift right now where if anyone contacts me in the month of February in Ohio, they'll get 50% off of a dog training session. If you live in Utah, I will be in March, or sorry, in person in March, at the end of March, the last week of March. You can get 50% off of a dog training session then in person. And then I'm also doing the elementary obedience class, that group class that's new at the Geauga YMCA. That class is starting on February 20th. It's an ongoing class, but the next enrollment starts, the class starts on that day, and you got to pre-register. So everyone that registers for the February 20th class, you will get a free private session with me. So if you are interested in that group class, now's the time to do it, because I'm not going to be always offering a free private session with you, but I am doing it this time. And in that group class, we're just going all of the basic commands: come, sit down, stay, loosely walking, all of that good stuff. Your dog does have to be friendly with other dogs and people because it's an obedience class. Yeah. So if you're interested in any of those things, you can comment below. And then I will also make sure I put the link for the registration for the Geauga Y up above. And Krista says, I'm feeling empowered that we can help Damien. Good. So knowing the tools is great. Biggest thing you want to get from today is start re-emotionally. I'm like making up words today. Start emotionally lining up yourself, or working on being grounded more by applying some of these tools. Because we can interact with our dogs differently if inside our nervous system is more grounded. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, you're gonna try to settle myself before hikes. I love that. And so try to do that and then even do it during the hikes. And remember ultimately that you got to keep doing the training and that the behavior will never fully go away, but it can lessen if you're consistent with the tools that I taught you. But I feel in this case, you got to work on grounding yourself, and then you're going to probably be able to do the tools more consistently. Because when we get all stressed out, a lot of times we get inconsistent. So, what we want to do is not meet our dogs, but our dogs up here and we're able to come down here. That's what we want. And when we're down here, we're no longer in fix-it problem solving mode. We're in possibility, connection, aliveness, teamwork. It's a whole different type of energy. All right. Thanks for joining me today, Krista. If you have any other questions, please comment. I will answer them after the live. And for anyone that's watched a replay, please remember to comment so I can interact with you and help you best. Bye for now. Oh, and next week I'll be here again at 12 o'clock on Friday. Hope to see you there.